Well, hello, my spooky friends. Welcome to my second video. I'm JJ, your ghost hunting granny here in Texas. After decades of experience with ghosts and paranormal activity, and no, I wasn't necessarily in this voluntarily, more like inducted, I have decided that maybe I could share some of my ghost stories with you. These are the stories that other people experienced as well as myself. I don't like putting the ones out there that maybe I experienced alone, and that perhaps it would be harder to verify. So, but these are true ghost stories. You can believe them or not believe them. That's fine. Either way. And I will also share some of my experiences as a paranormal investigator. We've been, Tex Part Paranormal's been in Texas now for 21 years. We were the main ghost hunting group for McKinney Ghost Walk for almost, let's see, I guess from 2009 to 2017. And we did a lot of the walking tours from McKinney, Texas. And we've investigated a lot of places all over, not just Texas, but Iowa and Kentucky, Jamaica. So we've seen a lot of things and done a lot of things. And throughout the years, I've gathered some kind of interesting knowledge that maybe will help you. My goal when I created Tex Part Paranormal is to to help people not have to sell their house or feel like they need to sleep at a friend's house to get sleep because they're scared, and to maybe help some of the younger ghost hunters preen their maybe their own groups to get better results without some of the errors that we made. So that's what we're here. We're here to help. We enjoy doing work for libraries and, like I said, walking tours, anything histories, haunts, legends type esque. We are avid historians, and we try to verify everything we find. And so the thing that I wanted to talk about today isn't really a ghost story per se. It's one of the reasons I started working with paranormal groups and within the paranormal community is because I wondered why these things happen. And why is it that some people see ghosts and have experiences and others, and maybe they just don't want to admit it. Like I said, when I was younger in the 70s and the 80s, you didn't talk about ghosts. You didn't talk about hearing voices, because if you did, you'd get a visit from two big guys in white coats that had your own special coat with really long arms they tied behind you, and then you get a padded cell with lots of drugs. So yeah, we didn't talk about it back then because it was just crazy. Now thankfully it's kind of a new time. Being ghost hunter is cool. Investigating paranormal is cool. So at least we can talk about it more. It's not such a closet subject, I guess. So some of the things that we've discovered, of course, there are different kinds of hauntings. There's a residual haunting, which is just a loop in time. Basically, something happens, maybe it's the anniversary each year of someone's death, or sometimes maybe a certain time in the day, and then nothing, Then you have your intelligent haunts, which, well, they will communicate with you, they will give you results, and a lot of times they don't end up, they end up causing trouble. There are elementals, the things in the world we don't want to talk about that go bump in the night, that are more earth-based, natural, or maybe unnatural to us, but things like hear people talk about skinwalkers or elves or fairies, or that's an elemental. And so there are different categories for hauntings, but there's also one that many people didn't talk about. They don't really talk about it. And the bottom line is, we are all balls of energy. You, me, the world, the trees, made of atoms, molecules, energy. Our thoughts are energy. Our words are weapons. Our hands, our motions, our emotions. the things we think, the things we do, the things we say to people that leave marks. I think about all the people who were damaged by, bad relationships in either families or marriages. That's an energy. That's a type of energy. So let's talk about how that impacts the paranormal world. It became very clear in 2020 how human emotion affects paranormal circumstances in a family. We had a family not too far from here that called us in. The mother-in-law had moved in. She had cancer. The mom, she had just had twins and had a near-death experience having those twins not long after moving into this newly built house. The dad had an accident, a car accident, and had a near-death experience with that. And then they had a 2-year-old boy who felt very neglected by all this other stuff going on because, they had to sleep, the twins had to sleep in the parents' bedroom, so they weren't getting much sleep. And really, they were a lot. And then she had to take mom to chemo treatment on top of that. And so they were very perplexed, very upset because they started having things happen in their brand new house. And they couldn't figure out why their house would be haunted when it was brand new. But in this case, it wasn't the house, it was the family. So once we sat down and kind of talked about all the things that were going on in this family, we got them some counseling, we did a house blessing, we just de-escalated one by one the things that were triggering these responses in the environment. Guess what? It went away. I mean, not just a little, completely. No haunting whatsoever. There are other circumstances where people buy brand new houses, built brand new on land that maybe they didn't move the cemetery. They'll say they did, but they did not. Because the truth is, if there are what they call pauper cemeteries, which means they're pauper graves where people were poor, and there may not be family to talk to. And if they don't have a family to help them move the person that's in that grave, the headstone gets moved, but the person stays. It's just extra cost the city can't take or the county can't take on. So they don't move them. So a lot of these historical cemeteries, you got to wonder, were any of them moved? And so what ends up happening is the people with the brand new house, they have a haunting. Well, it's not the house. In this case, it's not the family. It's the land. It's the land it's built on. And why do things like castles have so much haunting? Well, think about what happened in the walls of that castle that left marks and scars. So there are so many things that I could tell you about why. Theoretically, these things happen. And it's not a tell-all, end-all. It's the paranormal world, the paranormal research end of things is not written in stone. It's ever evolutionary. So I guess I just wanted to do this video because A, it's good practice for somebody who's not used to being in front of a video, and B, it is good for you to understand that there are certain viewpoints out there that may or may not be true. But based on time, decades of time, research, and some actual kind of experimentation, people can just make their environment, they can just charge their environment so things happen. And again, it's the person who can, they think about somebody and then they call them. Or you walk into an office building and something has gone wrong because it just doesn't feel right in there. Think about that. How does that happen? Well, we're all energetic beings. So this is something I want you to pay attention to as I tell you these stories, because maybe you'll see markers. You'll go, oh, hey, I understand what's going on there. Maybe you'll catch on before I tell you the end. And that's good. That's what I want to accomplish here. Because when time comes that maybe you have your own haunting, instead of being terrified, which feeds that source, it makes it worse. maybe, just maybe, you're going to go, hey, that chick, that old chick, yeah, that wrinkly old chick told me about energy. And what am I doing right now? And maybe you'll be able to diffuse what's going on in your home and have a peaceful, normal life again. Maybe not. You never know. But I'm hoping at least I can help. So that's what this video is about this time. And next time, I think I will tell you a few more stories that are a little bit, I was older when this happened. My kids were still young, but I was older. Not this old, but anyway, so until then, stay spooky. Think about that. Leave some comments for me. Let me know what you've seen that maybe you were able to debunk or diffuse or think more logically about, and then the activity went away. Love to hear from you. Like and follow if you would. And I'm going to promise you one thing. The ghost story that I told you about Ticonderoga is true. There is a lady in green for legends I did not know about until recently, but it was tame. That is a tame example. It only gets more interesting from here, folks. So hang in there. And the next one I will I'm trying to do this chronologically. So in my life anyway. And so I will see you soon. Stay spooky, and I will talk to you again. Thank you for watching.